Heavy from the Stevenson to the Burn, 18 minutes, 95th into downtown. And also, you're seeing delays on Metro's BNSF trains from an earlier mechanical failure. That's traffic. I'm Jeremy Scott.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Sunny, breezy, high 51, clear and 37 overnight. 30 at O'Hare, clear skies. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And one of the more memorable talks at the Republican National Convention was from NFL Hall of Famer Herschel Walker. And one of the reasons it was memorable is because of the image, the indelible image that Herschel Walker left America with.
One time, I planned to take his kids to Disney World with my family. At the last minute, Donald said he'd like to join us. So there he was, in a business suit, on It's a Small World ride.
Yeah, Donald Trump on It's a Small World at Disney World.
It's a small world. Now people are going to be singing it all day long now.
That is an image. But
great.
on a serious note, because Herschel Walker is also a serious person and a serious Christian, he talked about the accusations against Trump that then are turned on people, particularly black Americans or other minorities who support Trump. The accusation that Trump is a racist, so that anybody associated with him is either a racist or they're suborning racism.
The worst one is racist. I take it as a personal insult that people would think I've had a 37-year friendship with a racist. People who think that don't know what they're talking about. Growing up in the Deep South, I've seen racism up close. I know what it is, and it isn't Donald Trump. Just because someone loves and respects the flag, our national anthem, and our country, doesn't mean they don't care about social justice. I care about all those things. So does Donald Trump.
For more, we're pleased to be joined by Heisman Trophy winner, Georgia Bulldog, and NFL Hall of Famer, Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Herschel, can you hear us?
Do we have Herschel Walker? Or do we have...
Oh, yes, you do have me.
Okay,
there you are.
great.
Hi.
Yes.
Pleasure to have you join us. Thanks so much. So here we stand just 24 hours from Election Day, and how do you feel about the race and the prospects for your 37-year friend, Donald Trump?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know, I'm sad that this country is so divided the way it's divided right now because, you know, in picking a president, you know, we should be just picking the president, someone that you feel can do a great job for this country, that you can do a great job for the people, because everyone elected to go to Washington should be working for the people and not just for themselves.
How did you meet President Trump, or back then Donald Trump?
Well, you know, it was strange because, you know, when I left the University of Georgia, I went into the USFL, which was the first professional team I played on. And the team was owned by a guy by the name of Walter Duncan, who sold the team right away to Donald J. Trump. And I happened to go up to his office. He called me to come up to New York, and I was totally shocked that his guy got a building, his name on his building. And when I went up to meet with him, I sit down, he and my wife, and he sit down in his office, and we talked. That night we asked to go to dinner. The next night we went to dinner with each other's families. Then from then on, you know, the family started doing things together. His kids started going with me and my family on summer vacations and different things like that, and we became friends and been friends ever since. Even when he was in office, you know, he's always called me, and we've always talked. His kids are always, you know, I'm always talking to the kids and stuff, and I've known him forever, and I know the type of man he is, and I know that this guy's going to work. But you know, I know racism, and I said it's sad that today to keep someone quiet, they try to call you a racist. And I think that's what is so terrible about that is when they don't want anyone to say anything, not just Donald Trump, but any person or any white person, when they want you to be quiet, they call you a racist when they want to disagree with you. And I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to to see someone like 50 Cent chastised by someone like Chelsea Handler. I don't even know if you know who she is. There's no reason you should. But to say that 50 Cent supports Donald Trump because he doesn't want to become 20 Cent, just supports him because of his tax plan, and Chelsea Handler saying you're not allowed to vote for him because you're black. So a white leftist woman like Chelsea Handler telling black people who they can and cannot vote for, and Donald Trump's the racist.
Well, and that's what's so terrible because, and I'm saying, guys, it's almost like you want to say a black person not educated or he's not educating himself because, you vote Democrat or you have a mind of your own. And one of the things I tell people all the time, I say, guys, you can listen to me all you want, but I'd love for you to go educate yourself on these policies. And that's what 50 Cent was looking at. He was looking at the policy. It had nothing to do with his skin color. And he was looking at a policy that fit him. And I said, guys, that's what you got to look at today. What fits you? What fits what you love about America? And once you start doing that, I think you can make the right decision. It has nothing to do about color. Because, we're in a beautiful country. United States of America is a beautiful country, the best country in the world. But we can get along. We can get things solved together. We can't do it separate. And we have to do things together. We got to work together. And we got to support everybody, not just one color, but everybody.
And how do you react when you get criticized, called names from or people, even friends come up and say, Herschel, you can't be out and outspoken like this on Trump. It's just not. It's not right because of this and this and this. I mean, it would just seem to me like I don't understand where they're going. The point is, do you believe America is flawed but good and trying to get better and we can help it be better? Or do you believe America is irreparably damaged, irreparably bad, and we should just turn America into something that it was never conceived to be?
Well, I was bullied as a little kid. I was overweight, had a speech impediment. I was bullied a great deal, and I overcame it. And today I said people can't bully me for what I think is right. What I think is right is America is a great country. I love the United States of America. When I hear celebrities and athletes say this is such a racist country, it's a terrible country, and I want to say, guys, you said that we're so oppressed and things like that. All you're doing is giving people an excuse not to work hard. If you made it, they can make it as well. So I want all the young kids out there, I want everyone out there to know that you can make it in America. This is the greatest country in the world, and you do have that America's dream. And, you just have to put the right person in office. Right now, let's be honest, if we're such a systemic racism, and I hate to say this, how do we have a black president for 2 terms? That means that white people had to vote for him because he could not have made it just by African-Americans vote. And right now, everyone seems to be saying, oh, Herschel's going to talk about African-American voting. No, I'm going to talk about American voting because the Hispanic vote is important as well. Yeah. White vote is important as well because we're in this country together, people, and we have to put the right one in office to keep all those American values. And that's what I said. When I heard the Democratic Party, and I'm a Christian, I love the Lord Jesus Christ, but I heard them not want to mention God, want to take God out of things. And I said, guys, that's not a country I want to live in. I don't want to live in a place that don't want God in their house. I got to have my faith. My faith helped me to overcome so much, and it has helped so many other people as well. And I'm not telling you who to believe in, but I'm telling you who I believe in. And I said, guys, when you start looking at that and you look at the council culture today, they want to take your speech away. They want to take this. They want to shout you down. That's not right. We need law and order. And do we need to correct it and make it better? Yes, but you don't defund it. What you do is you go in, you retrain the trainer, you retrain the officers. And I studied criminal justice in college. I was going to law school, and I said, guys, everybody is not evil. 99.9% of the police officers are good people. Same thing as in this country. A lot of people in this country are good people. But you do have some that's not. But that's the way life is.
You made the right choice in going with football instead of law school. I guarantee you that. I just, I think the statute of limitations has run. So can you tell us what happened to those people who bullied you as a kid? Have they ever been heard from again?
Well, what's so funny is I still remember the guy that bullied me, and this is what's so funny. If I see him today, I probably would thank him. And people say, why would you do that? I probably would thank him because he didn't just beat me up, but he woke me up. He made me get out and start feeling better about who I was. I started working out. And I overcame so much. And I said, sometimes man can mean things to be bad, but God can turn it as good. But you got to always look up to go up. You cannot always just look down. And that's what I see going on right now. We always want to just look down and look terrible. And I'm like, guys, Herschel Walker, I'm always going to be happy. I got a great family. I got a wonderful friends. I got all this. Even some of the friends, I had friends that leave that didn't like who I voted for. And I'm like, guys, when did it come that you get angry at someone because of their belief, or you dislike someone, or you want to hurt someone because of what they believe in? That's not a country I want to live in. That's China. That's some other country that the government now is going to put you away because you believe in this. I don't want to live in that country, and I don't want to become that country.
Well, I wanted to ask you because Dan here does not watch the NFL anymore. I don't think you watch any sports, right? Because of social justice messages, they're a part of it. Are you still watching the NFL, and can you stomach when people take a knee during the national anthem?
Well, now this is shocking. This is going to be shocking to America. Do you know I didn't grow up playing football? I learned football from books. So I never really watched sports when I was playing the sports, but I wouldn't watch it now because of that. I don't think people should be taking a knee. I think the commissioners of most of the major league teams did the wrong thing. I think they became a terrible leader. I think being a leader, you may do things that some people disagree with, but it got to be the right thing to do. I think what the commissioner should have told all the players is we're going to stand, and what we're going to do after this season. He got to put himself on the line, too. After this season, me as a commissioner and all the owners and the players, we're going to march down to Washington, and we're going to get the people to change these laws. Because that's what you have to do, just by protesting. As they were protesting, they never came up with a solution. They didn't have an end game, and they didn't have what they really wanted because they said, we want social justice. Well, my question is, what do that look like? We want this here. Okay, what does that look like? What you have to do is we have to go to Washington. And the people that's in Washington that's been sitting there for year on, year out, not doing one thing to change it, but yet they've been in fueling the fire by saying, it's so injustice, it's so terrible, but yet they're in office that they can change it. They haven't changed not one thing, but yet they continue to talk about it and stuff. And I said, that's what the commissioner should have said because he knows what's going on. He knows that there are some problems in the NFL and the NBA because, what you need to do is let's talk about getting African-American owners. Let's talk about getting Hispanic owners. Let's figure out a way to do those things if you want to make things equal. And then how can you say that there's injustice in the league when the majority of the NBA are black? The majority of football players are black, but the ownership is where the disparity is at. So let's work on getting that, but yet that doesn't come up. It's always something else. And I said, guys, if you look at things, this is not that bad. And I said, life is not as bad as people make it out to be. Life is pretty good in America. And if you don't like it, you can go try to live somewhere else, and I guarantee you're going to come back.
The point you make about earlier about culture, about religious liberty, there's estimates that 40 million Christian Americans, all races, 40 million Christian Americans will not vote in this election. And so I just wonder what you think about what you think in terms of a message to not just black Christians, but all Christian Americans in terms of the importance of voting.
Well, the importance of voting as a Christian is you got to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you live for nothing. Because right now you're voting on whether you're going to have a leader that's going to lead you down the right track and protect your faith. Because in the Bible itself, it said, if you don't acknowledge my Father, I'm not going to acknowledge you. By not acknowledging to vote at all, it's saying that you have no person in this game. You have to get out and stand for something or do something if you're a Christian. And that's what I told people. I said, guys, I didn't just talk for Donald Trump. I wanted people to know the truth. I know a lot of things they've said that wasn't the truth about this guy. So that's the reason I came out. But I got even madder when I happened to see someone holding a BLM sign up, burning a cross, burning the Holy Bible, and then burning the United States flag. And I was like, no, that's not the country I want to grow up in. That's not the country I want my kids to grow up in. That's not the country I want my family and my friends to grow up in. I want America. I do believe in that term, give me liberty or give me death. Because I would live my whole life standing on my feet begging for my freedom to speak, to have a gun, to go to church, then to live on my knees begging for something from the government. And that's what they want to do right now. I don't want the government running my life.
My hope is that black voters in swing states and Latino voters in swing states put Donald Trump over the top tomorrow. In other words, you can look at the incremental improvement in his percentage of votes from those communities and say, arguably, that they put him over the top in terms of redefining the choices in America, including that it's okay to vote for a Republican candidate for president or any other office for that matter, as long as you, as you said, that they're proposing things that are in your interest to support. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that we're going to see real improvements in those communities for Trump?
I guarantee you that's going to happen. I think, they talked about he getting in the single digits last time. Donald Trump was getting in the upper 20s in the black community, and I think it may even be larger. And he's going to get even larger in the Hispanic community as well, because I think people are starting to really look at the policies. They're starting to really look at things, and I think they're starting to wake up. I'm not going to get down and when Donald Trump first came out with Drain the Swamp, I'm going to be honest with you, I had no clue of what he was talking about, but I was going along with it. Yeah, Drain the Swamp, whatever that is. But I didn't realize what he was talking about is what was going on in Washington. And I think we see it today, that what's going on in Washington is people go to Washington not to represent the people, but to represent themselves. Well, they're supposed to represent the people, not representing themselves. And you see that, what was happening with all the Russia thing, with everything that was going on. And I'm like, wait a minute. You make a decision and you're a leader. You don't make the decision on, it's for you. You make the decision on the team. Well, the America's team hadn't getting the right decision made for them. And that's what I think is sad.
He is Herschel Walker, Hall of Fame running back and a longtime 37-year friend of President Trump. Herschel Walker, real pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on, and God bless.
Yeah, God bless. Thank you, too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hi, I'm State Representative Deanne Mazzocchi. I believe now more than ever, we need to be investing in our future and focusing on issues that are important, like safe schools, safe streets, and helping our seniors. I'm a mom, and I stood up to the Madigan machine and said no to Springfield treating you like their personal ATM. Together, we can get Illinois on track to a brighter tomorrow for you and your families. I'm Deanne Mazzocchi, and I'm